And today we're going to talk about the DJI Osmo Action, the OnePlus 7 Pro cell phone, some stuff we've been up to this week, which is quite a bit, about 10 different projects, and dissect our favorite commercial of the week, which is actually courtesy of Apple. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Prolix Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. On the Prolix Podcast, we talk about photography, videography, projects we've been working on, tech news, and then break down our favorite video from this week. Before we jump into all of that, please do check us out on Instagram at Prolix Media, where we do post quite often, so you can keep in touch with us and see what we've been up to. And don't forget to follow us, of course, while you're there. Also, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, also at Prolix Media on YouTube, so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. We're on a mission to about 10K subscribers, guys, and we'd love to have you join us on the journey. Now, I got a question for you. Question of the week, Jordan.
Crap.
And I mean, you didn't write it in this time, so you're not prepared. So the question of the week is, what is your favorite weather outside? Yeah, weather. I'm gonna start it there. So like you can pick basically like, okay, weather or season. I didn't want to say season because it could be like minus 30 but no snow on the ground, so it looks ugly, right? Versus like, is it snow? Is it fall, like leaves and stuff? Or is it rain? Or is it hot summer day with no clouds?
Honestly, I'm not like the biggest fan of super hot weather. Like, it's nice every once in a while at the beach. That's great. But ideally would be like sweater weather. So the fall is great. Like late August.
August.
It's like 15 degrees.
Now, okay, the reason
a little hotter than that is nice for like a little bit. Like 15 degrees.
Now, the reason I ask you that question is
there's more.
There is more. It's like a two-parter. Is to see if your answer changes if I were to say, what is your favorite weather/season to take photos in?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's hard. I believe there's a statement or whatever that like the worst weather makes for the best photos or whatever.
Yeah?
I feel like just because it adds something a little dynamic to it. Because like shooting on bright sunny days, like obviously if you're going for a certain look is nice. But like when it's like foggy and cold and like a little bit of rain on the ground, I feel like it just adds that much more to a photo.
I see. Okay.
So I still feel like that's like fall.
It's like fall, okay. Yeah. I'd have to agree with you. My favorite to shoot in is actually the rain, even though it sucks like physically because you're getting soaked.
Yeah.
But the photos you get are so unique because there's barely any photos out there in the rain. Because in this part of the world, it rains not that often. Yeah. And when it does rain, technology doesn't mix with rain. So a lot of people don't shoot in the rain, right? And it's also uncomfortable. So that's why it's unique. First of all, plus it adds a cool effect like reflective surfaces and puddles.
That's what's so cool. And then you get like all the extra from even like street lights off the ground or anything.
And not only that, but also the car's wet or I just say car. We basically shoot cars all the time. But I mean like anything, whatever you're shooting, just has that. If you're shooting people, of course. I mean, some people's shots actually look cool, like, like with drenched hair and whatever. And like,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we're actually going to plan a shoot in the rain with Audi with a classy like dude in a suit with a suitcase and an Audi umbrella.
Yeah, or you were saying been cool, but it's not like downpour.
Yeah, but could have been like it's still wet outside, so it could have still looked good. But anyway, so that's the question of the week for you. It was a two-parter. Now let's talk about the week's recap. We got some new mailer cards, and as you can see for YouTubers out there that are watching us, a video of this. We're pretty proud of them. We've displayed them right here. This is what they look like. It's a cool little pattern inside. We got like a little bit of a line pattern. You guys probably can't see it behind there. They're 3x6, I think, and they got soft touch lamination. They're 16-point thickness, so quality cards. Pretty happy with them.
Like American Psycho on this.
What does that mean?
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, there's like a whole scene where it's like a group of men sitting around a table bragging about their business cards.
Oh my god.
They go into like the minute details. It's a great scene, yeah.
I could tell you the Pantone codes on those cards, but color codes, but I'm not gonna get into that. Something else we've been up to is actually with Charisma of India, which is a restaurant here locally in Winnipeg on Sherbrooke Street. We came up with a campaign idea to get them more traffic in the restaurant because apparently to them, Skip the Dishes is doing really well for them, but they needed something to get them more people in the door. Actually, Jordan, that was your idea, so why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, basically, it's not like it's never been done before, but giving people who are influencers in like the food industry, that's what we're talking about? Yeah, basically giving them like a coupon in exchange for shares. So they get to come in, get a free meal, and then...
Just to clarify, by shares, do you mean the poster on their feed?
They make a poster on their story.
Yeah, on the feed or the story. And then basically what that does is it exposes, obviously, Charisma and their content, Charisma of India and the content of that influencer to that influencer's demographic and audience, which hopefully obviously means business for Charisma.
Yeah.
So it's actually a clever way of advertising, obviously very popular out there. So if you guys are not working with influencers, we strongly advise, you do that. The other thing is, we had a 2-day shoot with Crosstown Civic Credit Union, which is a local credit union in Winnipeg. They have 9 locations. This is actually a first video we did for them. It was one on more of like a professional kind of simpler side. It wasn't much creativity there, but it was for the current clients. So, and it was a little longer. It was about 1:30, like the finished product.
Yeah.
But the reason it was okay to be that long is because it's going to be their current customers that are going to be going to their website, but this new support hub and new system that they're doing. So it was basically like a video about a bunch of different employees kind of doing different actions throughout the video while explaining about the new support hub.
I'm learning this right now, as well as the audience.
I
wasn't here for any of this.
Oh, yeah. By the way, is this your plug to tell us, to brag about where you went 100%.
From? I'm just saying, though, like, I genuinely didn't know any of this, so that's cool.
Just saying. Every time I say just saying, I'm not just saying. There's definitely behind the meaning behind it. So you know what? I had about 8 other things to tell the audience about.
Keep going.
You know what? That's fine. You interrupted, so may as well keep going with that. So what did you do last week, Jordan?
Nothing really.
Wow,
I just went on a little trip.
Yeah, a little bit of a trip.
The Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How's the Apple Store at the Big Apple? Pretty big?
Man, wow. It's like 2 stories high.
That was actually sarcasm.
You know Grand Central Station? They have one in Grand Central Station. Like the whole second viewing deck is an Apple Store. It's wild.
What?
Yeah, and it's all like open.
See, I was watching a show yesterday that the Grand Central Station blew up on the show, so I was like,
oh, shit.
Yeah. So
there have been a lot of Apple lost.
Yeah, no kidding. That was Quantico. But by the way, the show, I don't watch shows a lot, but it was kind of one of those things that the girlfriend's like, we're watching this show right now. Anyways, that's off topic. But what were you saying? So the Big Apple. So how was that?
Yeah, it was great. I would definitely want to go back.
Give us like 3 highlights of the trip. $700 on Balenciaga shoes.
I didn't spend that much. Someone did.
I
took some photos of them, but there's no way. I actually, when taking photos of it, we were going for a walk, and I made him take one shoe off. It just made him stand on the corner while I shot like those floating shots.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you get some cool shots?
Yeah,
those are the typical Balenciaga, like the foam ones that are like the one piece or whatever?
No, they're like the huge, chunky looking retro ones. Like, where it's like there's like 12
How's that even
different...
in style? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, no disrespect to your buddy there. Yeah. He's just a fashionable guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's wearing whatever's fashionable.
Yeah, but like they look cool for that.
For those of you that are just listening, I've made a very unimpressed impression of my face right now. Anyways.
But yeah, 3 highlights. The street photography was really fun. I mean, it's so easy there because there's so many people on the street. So that was really cool.
Right.
And then just seeing sites that like I've been wanting to see since I was a kid. So like the Empire State Building, like the Flatiron Building, and then like taking the ferry to see like Statue of Liberty. All that stuff was obviously cool. I had to get all that touristy shit out of the way.
Nice.
Touristy crap, sorry.
No, it's okay. Thirsty bleep out of the way, yeah.
And then I don't know. What the last thing? I spent most of my time in Brooklyn, which is like just across the river from Manhattan.
Right.
And I loved it. It was amazing. Like the whole community in Brooklyn, at least in Williamsburg, is like super, super hipster.
So that's how you're... This is the guy
it made me feel a little more comfortable than running around with like the big men in suits in Manhattan. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is where I would have come in. I would have been like, no, he's with us.
Yeah,
bro. Don't worry about it. He's with us.
I feel like, I stuck out a little bit more in Manhattan than I did in Williamsburg, which was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay, so good trip. Would you recommend, like, out of 10, out of all the trips you've done? Jordan over here traveled to like 16 countries so far, right? Okay, don't brag. It's 25, isn't it?
No, it's like 18 or 19.
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where does this rank out of 10?
Honestly, it was really good. Like some of my favorite cities that I've been to, like in like Barcelona or like I liked Prague in the Czech Republic. Those ones were really good there. And London was awesome. I think in big city, like it's very different than like country traveling.
Right.
But like compared to like Barcelona, which is like a big city in London, it's definitely up there as one of my favorites. It was amazing. Awesome. Yeah, and it was way less intimidating than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I have like a concept about it.
That's
like
what I went into it a little nervous because I'm not a huge city travel person. And
right.
I think some of the most fun I had was just walking around alone with my camera. Like there was like one moment where I felt a little uneasy with my camera.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
What was it? Like,
it was just some guy definitely eyeing my stuff.
Oh.
And to the point where he like paced me and was walking beside me and was like, "It's a really nice camera, man." And I was like, "Yeah." And I just kept walking, and then he slowly like trailed off. But I was like, "Yeah, that guy wanted my shit."
You should have been like, "You should know what's nicer than my camera." Kung fu skills. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
My Balenciaga shoes, you can have them.
Yeah. You can't give up so easy. Come on. But anyways, back on track.
Back on track. Yeah.
No,
so
listen.
there's a whole
You're part of the
list of stuff.
you're part of the company, so it's important what you were doing while I was struggling without you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That was actually a compliment to you as to how much you mean to the company and the fact that
man.
Yeah, you're definitely an important piece, and I always knew that, but definitely realized it tenfold last week. So. I'm glad to have you back. But anyways, while you were gone, Austin and I shot the first part of the commercial for the Crossing Credit Union, as I mentioned.
And then you finished X-Tech, right?
Oh yeah, and then the X-Tech commercial too, which is the one we did for the duct cleaning company startup. That's a startup. We got the commercial. I got the commercial from Austin, which is our videographer / editor and colorist, all in one package. You know, like a 3-for-1 deal. Amazing guy. Got the commercial and I watched it, and it was very like straightforward. It was just like a family sitting around a couch, like the baby coughs, the mom is cleaning, and the mom looks worried about the baby coughing, and is like, oh, you know, like, and then there's like a voiceover. It's like, oh, is your family at risk? Da da da.
Yeah.
There might be dust in your hair, and then she calls X-Tech. They come in, do the house, like clean out the ducts, and then they leave, and then it's like all positive and happy family at the couch.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just so used to us doing creative stuff that was like such a straightforward commercial. When I watched it, I was like, oh man, he's not gonna like it, like it's gonna be boring.
Yeah.
I sent it to him. Within seconds, this guy's like, I love it, exactly what I expected. This is amazing. You guys do great work, blah blah blah. Come and pick up your check today. And I didn't even send him an invoice yet. Yeah, and he sent me he said just send the invoice. And I was like, man, if only every client was like that. Like we're waiting for some invoices for over like a month and a half. And this guy's like, yeah, just come whenever. Yeah. I'll have it ready. And I'm like, great. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, like the thing with that commercial too, like it may not have been like the most creative thing or approach to it, but like that's so the standard of that industry.
Oh,
like
for sure.
Anything with like that home care kind of style industry.
It's like it's almost catered towards the older demographic almost with that industry, where it's like, and they need like the slower pace, zero creativity, like very weak punchline.
You don't want to miss the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like it has to be said right there. So
yeah, so it was, and then that was awesome. So yeah, and it was like no revisions, amazing client. We're super happy, and give him a couple other ideas that you had in mind with the quack quack. That's all you guys get to hear about. It includes quack quack in it. Anyways, and and the guy's like, yep, send me the proposal. Let's chat about it. I'm like, great, awesome. The other thing is also I met with a broker, like an owner of a brokerage, and for all you people in sales there, I was actually following up with this guy for about a year, almost 2 years. I pitched him this idea 2 years ago, and I just kept following up, like not like a knowing follow-up. It was just kind of like, hey, wondering if you had a chance to think about this, or like very like send him more information about the importance of this or whatever. And sorry, I should tell you guys what this is. What I'm referring to with this is basically doing an informational / coaching series in the form of a podcast, which we'll record as a video, just like we're doing right now, for him to coach other realtors. And he's like an owner of a brokerage, so the reason we're doing coaching for realtors other than coaching and educating buyers is because coaching realtors are worldwide, so it's a better opportunity for him to explode the series worldwide rather than just like locally to local buyers.
That's cool.
So yeah, we're gonna do 4 podcasts a month. We're gonna meet up twice a month, film 2 videos each time. And actually the fun twist we're gonna add to it, because there's so many real estate and car sales coaches out there on YouTube. And the idea that they had that I took a step further during the meeting is basically calling it something like skip the bullshit real estate, or like real estate coaching while skipping the bullshit or something like that. And then that's what is their idea. And then my idea was like add alcohol into it and just say real estate coaching after 1 beer, or like after a beer or something, or after 2 beers or whatever. And the reason being is because Usually after 2 beers, you kind of like are more open and cut the shit and like whatever.
Take the edge off.
Yeah, and then the reason for that is because there's so much like false info out there for real estate and like what involves and how easy it is and that's easy money, whatever. It's that was the idea. So anyways, we got that kind of handled. So tomorrow we're gonna actually go check out where we're gonna shoot in their office, and then in a month from now we're gonna start filming. So met with Andrew Morose, a good friend of ours who's a real estate agent for a different brokerage, and what he wants to do is basically like a show, 4 episodes a month that we're gonna film. That's gonna involve basically. Actually, I'm not going to tell you guys what it's going to involve because it's his idea. So when it comes out, you guys can check it out.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And then
plug it then.
Yeah, plug it then. Yeah, exactly. Now, also yesterday, I went to do some Goche portraits at Jim Goche Chevrolet for their new employees. We do their portraits, their social media, their content. So that was part of it. Another thing we did, there was a house for a good friend of ours, Cole Shapansky. He's a realtor also locally. So we do some real estate photography and videography occasionally. We did a house for him yesterday. And also, I personally met yesterday with the tree care company in Winnipeg. We already built their website about a year and a half ago, but now they're saying they want to rebuild to do like a slightly different design, integrate a lot of different other platforms that are not integrated in the current website because they just found out about them recently. And due to the coding involved, amount of coding involved, it would be just easier to rebuild the site. Also, they wanted a more minimalistic approach, which is last time they kind of went with a lot of information on the website, and they're getting that the website is a little cluttered. So we're going to rebuild that, and then probably a main commercial for them as well. So It's been a busy 7 days. That's in the last 7 days. It's been pretty busy. Anyways,
poo.
Wow, that was
crazy.
That was It was good though, productive. Yeah. Okay, let's transfer to tech news. So first of all, OnePlus 7 Pro first look. Okay, before I let you take the throne here and tell the audience about this thing, OnePlus 7. Is it me or was the first one called OnePlus One? Because that would make sense.
I think it was.
Wasn't it called? Because I feel like I've seen the phone that says
like
OnePlus One.
OnePlus, right? Like
OnePlus One.
And then it was the OnePlus One. Yeah, I think it was.
So I thought the company name was OnePlus, but looks like, or OnePlus One, I mean.
But I
think it's OnePlus.
Or maybe they changed the branding or adjusted it to be OnePlus.
And then whatever the phone is.
OnePlus.
But it wasn't. There was no way that was like that long ago, because it was only like 2 years ago. I remember the OnePlus coming out, and this is already the 7th one.
I have no idea.
But tell us what you do have an idea about this phone.
Well, they're definitely trying to make a splash with against the Pixel. It seems to be like the main competition for it.
Why do you say that?
Like the Pixel is the cheapest, I think, in the range. I think like
the range of what?
There's like the Samsung, the iPhone, both at like the $1,000 range.
Right.
And then
unless you're talking about the Fold,
the Pixel is like
bake cookies on it, yeah.
How much is the Pixel?
300
something.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe 400, and this one's coming in at $669, so it's like right in the middle.
Right.
But it like has all the camera performance that like the Pixel brags about, but then it also has like the performance side is basically what it's saying. But it looks pretty cool. It has a 3 camera setup, like right down the back, which is pretty cool. So it's got 3 lenses, each for a different thing. So it's regular purpose one. Is like 48 megapixel, which is pretty crazy. A 16 megapixel ultra wide lens, and then a telephoto lens. Apparently it has like 3 times digital zoom. I haven't seen the pictures from that, but it looks pretty cool. I feel like the more and more of these phones come out, like I might switch.
You might. What? You hesitated there because you knew I was about to smack you.
I don't know.
Wanting to switch from an iPhone.
Like, I don't know. They're getting pretty impressive, and the low light was like super impressive on this. The biggest thing that impressed me with is optional 12 gigs of RAM. It comes with either 6, 8, or 12 gigs of RAM.
Hold on, 12 gigabytes of RAM?
Yeah,
I don't think I have that much RAM on my MacBook, which is the fully
what
loadable.
am I gonna do with on my phone that needs that much?
I'm assuming like freaking 3D print right out of the phone. There's also, you forgot to mention that there's also a retractable front camera, which is hella gimmicky, but...
Yeah, a little bit. It looks pretty cool.
But I feel like it's just like one of those things that pops out and you're just like, what the fuck?
And yeah, I don't know.
It
seems super pointless. But the whole point was that they...
It's super pointless.
But the one point I can see them arguing would be that they wanted to have like a seamless screen. This is like the biggest screen. It doesn't have a notch.
Nothing.
Or whatever.
Just has nothing.
Yeah, like a full, like it's got like the beveled side, and apparently it's like the biggest phone right now in the market at 6.67 inches.
Like
So
the size of the phone or the screen?
The screen, yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's pretty big. With all these new phones, it's hard to keep track though. I
And
feel like there's like a new one coming out every couple of weeks, and you're like, what the hell?
No, literally, yeah. It's kind of annoying. I'm really happy with this phone. I mean, it actually started like this is an iPhone X. I bought brand new.
Yeah.
This is the one with 256 or whatever the maximum memory was at the time.
Thanks. Maybe 256.
I think it is. Yeah. Anyways, and it's already lagging, and I'm like, I do use it a lot. Like I use it to its full, like not full potential. I don't do any like video editing or any of that crap, but I do run like a lot of apps at the time and switch back from this and that and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this thing like lags heavy, like just.
It's so, man.
They purposely do it.
Sometimes I want to throw this thing at the wall.
Honestly, I do too. Let's just see how much our phones do damage to the wall. But
survive.
Looks like, speaking of memory, it looks like based on your extensive research by Googling OnePlus 7 Pro and clicking the first link, it says that the options are 128 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest screens on the market, you already mentioned that, so just pretend like you never heard it. Anything else about this phone? Would you get it?
I don't know. It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. But the only issues that like I am worried about.
If you want to smack cam,
like,
I'll do a smack cam right now on camera.
That Apple for sure does is like its quality control.
The quality control. Well, yeah.
Like you get an iPhone and it's not like super, like it doesn't happen.
Plasticky.
You get like, you don't get like dead pixels. You don't get like shitty screens. Like that happens. It seems to happen at least more often on every other device thing where people have to go get a new one or get it replaced. Like so often.
Speaking of Apple, I'm sorry to interrupt like I always do, but you're probably used to it now. Speaking of Apple, I know this is not news, but you guys should, if you haven't, look into the Apple Card. We watched an extensive commercial today about it, and I know we didn't say this in the preview, so surprise, we're going to talk about the Apple Card. Anyways, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's basically a credit card that's by Apple in partnership with, what was that, Goldman Sachs Bank, and with MasterCard, I guess. And what they do is basically like it links to your Apple Pay in your wallet, and you can pay with your phone through this card. You get 3% cash back on Apple purchases and 2% cash back
on everything else.
This is how much I believe in it, that I'm like literally not even reading off my phone right now. You guys, audio listeners, you guys will just have to trust me on this one. But video listeners, look, I'm talking from the dome right now. But anyways, 2% cash back on every other purchase, and you have completely trackable income on your phone, and it categorizes it. And the freaking amazing part that I noticed is the fact that they're literally like, oh, you don't remember where you made that purchase? You can literally, it geolocates where each purchase was taken, like on the map.
My favorite thing was the pay early benefit with no interest. Yeah, you could pay at a bigger chunk and get a reduced amount of interest, or if you pay off enough, you pay no interest.
That's incredible.
Which is sick.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's like they're literally battling the biggest challenges, not the challenge, but the biggest like uncomfortable things about credit cards for people. And there's like a live wheel to show you that like basically depending on how much you pay off is how much interest you'll owe or whatever, or you'll have depending on how much
But it's not coming to Canada.
Which is so annoing. And then it's like, I feel like, when I used to live in Israel, it was kind of like, okay, we're in the Middle East, we're surrounded by war, so it makes sense why we get products late. But we're in freaking Canada. It's like the best country in the world.
I don't understand. It's so weird.
Okay, well, disclaimer. To be fair, they say it's not coming to Canada yet, or they don't have a date. But knowing Apple, and they're probably going to be like, okay, well, Canada's a pretty big market.
Yeah, it's like 2025.
Frick. So let's date this podcast right now. Right now, it's basically 2002, October 3rd. So, like, it's quite a while from now.
Yeah, we got a little bit to wait.
Oh, man.
But it would be cool. I'd get it.
Epic. I would get it, too. And if Apple Pay isn't accepted, they're, like, promoting this platinum custom card with a number on it and your name etched on it. It's like, freaking, no, platinum? No, titanium.
Titanium,
platinum.
Yeah,
might as well have some rocket metal. Anyways, what's rocket made out of? Rockets are made out of...
Space grade aluminum.
There you go. This guy nerds out on that. See, I just.
You made me delete the NASA news, but it's fine.
Yeah, we had planned to talk about NASA news, but I clearly know shit all about NASA and space. So, anyways, and same with everything else. I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just improvising right now. But anyways, super exciting news. Let's jump into what we did schedule to talk about is DJI Osmo Action Cam.
Yeah, this looks sick.
Today's, I'm going to date this a little bit, but today's May 15th, and I actually got the email this morning from DJI promoting it. So it literally came out today, this morning, at 8:07 a.m. to be exact. Well, that's when I get the email. But looks wicked. It literally looks like a GoPro with a screen on the back and the screen on the front, which is the one thing that GoPro lacks. Because I vlog personally with the GoPro, and it's so annoying because oftentimes I'll watch footage of myself like after I record it, and it's like half my forehead's cut off, or like I have no chin, and I'm like, I didn't ask for a plastic surgery. I was just trying to vlog. So tell me more about it. What did you find out about it?
It comes in at $329 US retail, which is like pretty.
So
cheap.
times 1.3 is like probably $450 or something.
Yeah, but that's a pretty decent price point. 4K HDR video, and it comes with something they're calling rock steady stabilization, which I'm assuming is similar to the GoPro stabilization.
Which is the hyper smooth they call it.
Yeah.
Well, it literally looks like a GoPro. It's a black case. It has like a very similar bezel
the shape,
on the screen.
The only difference is that it has a circular lens hood versus the square on a GoPro.
Yeah,
that's like the only difference.
Yeah.
Plus the added screen, but yeah.
Well, technically this thing has a screen. The GoPro has a screen too. It's just like
but it's
like analog to tell you what's happening.
Yeah, but
not to actually show you.
Yeah, so that looks, I don't know, it looks wild. It's got 1080p, 240 frames a second, waterproof. The only thing that I thought was hilarious, and I pointed this out earlier, was the extreme cold battery life functionality. It was like it can survive up to temperatures of minus 10 Celsius, and it's like.
Have you lived in Winnipeg?
That's not extreme cold.
Dude, there's literally, like, when it's springtime and it's minus 10 on the day, people, like, wear flip-flops and shorts.
Everybody's ready to go in shorts.
Literally. And they're, like, extreme cold. Yeah, extreme cold for Africa, maybe. Sorry, I mean a country in Africa. I don't mean to sound ignorant.
No, but you're right. Like, that's not extreme cold.
No.
We get extreme cold warnings at, like, what, minus 45? Like,
and then people still go to school, and school's not canceled because education is important.
And you're still going outside for recess. Like, they're not canceling that.
Literally. Like... You can't build snowmen, but you will go outside.
But don't worry, this camera would be fine up to 10 below.
Minus 10. That's another thing I'm kind of worried about. It's like, how are we going to do a time lapse?
I don't know.
When it's going to be minus 10.
You're going to have to figure something out to keep it insulated.
I love how you just like clean your hand, wash your hands clean. You're going to have to figure
what am I supposed to do? I'm not an engineer.
Probably just like sit by the GoPro and just like blow hot air on it.
I don't know.
For all you listening, we're not going to tell you what we're talking about. We're going to tell you in the next podcast. So this is like a typical way on YouTube. I read this and I'm trying to use it on you guys. Is like to get you guys to watch the next one, and just to leave you on a cliffhanger, and now you guys are stuck wondering for another week what the hell we're talking about. So on that note, in the next episode. Anyways, what else? Has slow motion, 1080p at 240 frames per second. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I don't know. Like we're gonna have to see.
Get it?
I want to see what other people review it. Like obviously, like the Casey and Marquise Brownlee will have some like nice detailed review copies of the device. So we'll get to see a little bit more. Yeah. It'd be crazy to see Casey give a good review because like he uses GoPro all the time. So.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, but without seeing a review, do you think we should get that instead of the GoPro?
I mean, it's a decent price point.
It's actually cheaper than GoPro with an added screen, better slow motion.
I don't know.
And then extreme cold works in extreme. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, the GoPro sucks in the cold.
The thing, most of these things suck in the cold. But I don't know. I want to see how that stabilization works. Like if it's really comparable to that GoPro.
You could like literally jerk the GoPro left and right like this, like just rapidly. Like, but for all you audio listeners, I'm jerking my hand left and right about a foot left and right, and that's what you can do with the GoPro, and it like you barely see any movement.
Yeah,
it almost like keeps.
There's like some of the first footage when you first got it. There was like a shot of you running up the stairs
in our office.
Yeah, and it was like. I was like, what?
It looks like a crane shot. It looks like literally a crane shot following me.
How the hell does it
crazy.
do that?
Anyways, I guess we'll jump into our sponsor break now. We love our sponsors, and we've been using the same sponsor kind of for the last 3 episodes because they've been so good to us. But if you would like to be on our, or is this the part you say?
No,
you
keep
say this
going.
after?
No, keep going.
Oh, keep going. Okay. So if you would like to be a sponsor on our show, we know we don't get a lot of views right now, but we're actively working on growing this podcast. So get in while you can. No, I'm just kidding. Get in while it's cheap is what I'm going to say, or while it's free, because we love supporting other companies. And yeah, shoot us an email at info@proluxmedia.ca if you want to be sponsor the show with your product or with whatever. Jordan, tell us about the sponsor today.
Oh, okay. Well, our first and foremost and our only sponsor right now is Pallet Gear again. I don't have them here right now, but I've been using them a lot more. But
just use your AR technology on your iPhone 10. Oh wait,
I don't have that. And if you're a listener or if you're a new listener, basically what these are is they're modular devices for your editing software, so Adobe Premiere, Lightroom, Photoshop, anything like that. And basically it's like a nice tactile approach to using dials, buttons, and sliders to increase your workflow, essentially.
Yep.
And it's been pretty cool. It's definitely a learning curve to like rethink the approach from like a keyboard mentality to the buttons, but it is really cool to have everything like right under one hand. And it's not like I have to like remember which shortcuts are where. And you can color code all the buttons, which is really cool, so you can remember exactly which ones.
Colors.
Yeah, it's really the full RGB. It's sick. Like you can program each
tell
button.
me about it. I'm literally like Austin gave me his set, and I've been just like editing photos for fun for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's awesome. It actually makes the photos more fun to edit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it that is really, really cool to like have your hands on. And if that hasn't convinced you, you can go and try Pallet Gear completely risk-free for 30 days. And if it does not improve your workflow in any of those programs I mentioned, Lightroom, Photoshop, or Premiere Pro, you can return it for an entirely full refund.
That's incredible.
That's
that they're actually working
and
that.
On top of that, if you want to get an extra $50 to spend on more Pallet Gear products, just use the Prolux podcast and our email, team@proluxmedia.ca, in the referral box at checkout, and you will earn yourself an extra $50.
That's actually nice of them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pallet. Thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate it. Shout out Nina and Ryan? No. What's his name?
Andy.
Damn it. Why am I saying
You
Ryan?
said Ryan again.
Last time. Andy, I'm sorry, man. If you're listening to this, I hope you are, because that means you support our podcast. But
Oh, yeah, right. And the other thing we're supposed to push, but we haven't really made the levels here. We're trying to get ourselves started on Patreon. And by supporting on Patreon, you get exclusive contents like our question and answer segments, so our patrons can send us questions. We'll answer those live on the show. You can check out the different levels that are available at patreon.com/ProluxPodcast.
okay, so and then for this part of the podcast, we do a video breakdown of our favorite commercial of the week. And the reason we do this is because we kind of want to share our opinion and see what we notice in the commercial that maybe an average individual wouldn't notice in the commercials they watch. They just like them for whatever reason because it's aesthetically pleasing, whatever. But we decipher the little details, or dissect the little details that you might not notice. For this part of the podcast, we'd love to hear or see your favorite commercials that you've seen on YouTube or whatever. Please do send us a link on Prolux Media Instagram @ProluxMedia, or to our email info@proluxmedia.ca. We'd love to see and hear your thoughts about different commercials, and what the hell, maybe you will have your commercial on the next podcast. All right, let's dive in. So for the audio listeners, this commercial is exactly 3 minutes long, so you guys can proceed 3 minutes in front of this. But it does have audio and voiceover, so maybe listen to it, and maybe you'll actually kind of imagine what this is about. It's called Apple at Work, The Underdogs.
I love this commercial.
Yeah?
I've seen it one time, and I'm already sold. Like, it's probably one of my favorite ones. I'm setting the bar really early here. We're 4 episodes in. I think this is my favorite commercial ever. See if we can dethrone it.
All right, let's see.
Guys, I just got us a meeting with Vivian.
What? How?
I just bumped into her.
And what, you just asked for a meeting?
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do?
Actually,
When?
just now.
No, when's the meeting?
Oh, Thursday, 8 a.m.
Next Thursday.
Yes,
No, this Thursday.
That's impossible.
we can do this, okay? Roundbox is back.
It's just a sketch. That's all we have.
2 days? We need 2 weeks.
This is how we get off this floor.
Dave, can you get some sales figures on pizza boxes?
I feel sick.
It's so simple. Round pizza, round box.
Perfect.
Hey, who's hungry?
We have to prove what's wrong with pizza boxes.
They're square.
Wasted space.
Yeah.
Do I really have to go see Mike in finance?
Yep.
Hey, Mike. I was wondering if you could send me this.
Inbox.
We have this idea. We need some sort of 3D prototype.
I gotta pick up the kids.
I just want to get you all together. We need to find a name for the box.
Roundabout.
Squircle?
Circle box?
Who's that?
Hey, Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb. Brian.
I'm awake.
Hey, Siri, tell Bridget I'm running late.
No. This is wrong. This is all wrong.
Dave, can you please double check those figures for us?
Anyone here from Ed and Warehouse?
He's putting together the prototype now.
What are you guys working on?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Move that over there.
Make that title bigger.
Guys!
We're almost there.
You know how it works. I mean, I don't even.
What are you doing, bud? Hey, can I have that back?
I'll email you the video.
Just airdrop it to me.
Sweet. You guys, I just got the prototype.
Whoa. This is gonna look so good in the presentation.
Awesome.
Wow.
I'm awake.
It's time.
Did anyone press a button?
Yeah, that's my favorite commercial.
Okay, so where do we start, man? This video is so amazing. I think I want to start with the fact that how many different locations and people they use. Look at just in
Yeah.
this one shot how many background there are
Yeah.
to make it look realistic. The setup, and then like even I don't know like the coloring of the shots, the setup. I just can't get over like how many different. They literally probably use a real office environment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what to
And
say.
you pointed this out the first time we watched it, but like the cast.
They're so good.
It's
Like,
great.
And what you said is
Yeah.
that you would watch a show.
I would
with-
watch a show with this cast. Like
Yeah.
they sold me on the people
Yeah.
already. Like,
So
and the concept is hilarious.
so
The fact that she won this meeting because she got rear-ended by her boss.
and I love how it's like I just bumped into her and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
it's like double meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, and she already has. I didn't even notice that. What? No, we don't want to watch a September keynote. Sorry, audience. I love how
But
she
yeah,
already has the
that's-
coffee stains
Stain, yeah.
and the
And
color.
she's like proud of it too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's awesome.
Do you notice blue backpack, blue background, and blue lunchbox?
Yeah, the lunchbox too, yeah.
And the chairs
Yeah.
and the walls. Holy crap! Also, what the hell like are these plates and this car too? And the boss is driving a BMW, of course. And she was mad, but then she realized it was the boss.
She's like, oh god.
Also, look
The
at
touch
that.
of the detail there, yeah.
The crushed headlight or taillight.
Taillight,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
And what, you just asked for a meeting?
Yeah. Is there anything I can do? Actually,
When?
just now.
No, when's the meeting?
Oh, Thursday, 8 a.m.
And
Next Thursday.
Yes. No.
Nope.
This Thursday.
I love the conversation
Yeah.
in the one shot. Then it's like answered in the second shot.
That's impossible.
We can do this. Okay. Roundbox is back.
It's just a sketch. That's all we have.
2 days. We need.
Also, notice the subtle hints on like what the iPad can do or like what
Yeah.
Apple is used for.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they start to introduce the products.
Yeah. So the pen, the iPad.
Yeah.
Dave, can you get some sales figures on pizza boxes? It's so simple.
The iPad, the MacBook.
And then while they tell this story, they show off
The different features.
so many features.
It's crazy.
So many features.
It's
a lot that I had no idea
existed.
The first time I was like, oh, that's really cool. But then keep playing. Yeah, there was like a little thing later that I was
Takes
like,
a
holy
picture
shit.
and now it's in the email
Right on
or
the-
whatever, right?
yeah.
And she's still sketching the pizza
Yeah.
stuff, right?
What's wrong with pizza boxes? Yeah.
Drawing on the iPad.
On a photo.
On the photo.
On a
right?
photo.
Showing off
Yeah.
like Excel on iPad and on a computer.
We had the same idea. We need some sort of
Another location. Like what the
Yeah.
hell? Also blue tones too.
Yeah.
3D printed.
Yeah, the color palettes are all there.
And whatever that is. on
Looks
the
like the
iPad.
Pro.
Together, we need to find a name for the box.
Group FaceTime.
group
that was
call, yeah.
Yeah, that was introduced like in the last update or two updates ago.
Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
That's a like Siri, right?
Yeah.
And now the red tones, right? Because blue and red are popular now.
Yeah.
Another location. Another location.
Hey Siri, tell Bridget I'm running late.
Also notice.
I was
this
gonna
guy-
say I feel like each character has a different color palette.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy's blue.
Yeah, this guy's brown.
Brown, like
And
brown
even
kitchen.
into the elevator, the brown continues. So
That's
it's brown
incredible.
pants, brown there.
Wow. I just noticed that right
Yeah.
before you said that. I
Yeah.
was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
David, can you please don't check those figures for us?
Like,
The
that's
multitasking
so cool.
on the
Yeah.
iPad. And this guy in the warehouse is also using the iPad to design stuff.
I love this shot.
I love these little time lapses
Yeah.
throughout the video too.
So good.
And like the shot is perfect. You just see a little bit
Just
of
a
apple
little bit,
and
yeah.
then just enough of their face. Whoa. Notice this. He's sitting on a blue chair. Look. Look, his chair is like blue or black or whatever. Or they kind of look blue tint now. He's wearing pink. That's a he, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's wearing pink, and the chair next to him, right here, watch, is purple.
Yeah, oh yeah, kind of.
And look at this stack of chairs. What the? What is that? That's so funny.
It looks like they're working in like an extra
extra
office.
room. Yeah.
This is the thing that I didn't notice the first time. So
But
they're
that's
working
so
on a
cool.
joint document.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it, and then
just-
shit starts getting scribbled on because the kid. That's so good.
That's such a clever way to showcase that, right?
Yeah.
I love these little time lapses. Just airdrop it. Another feature.
You guys, I just got the prototype.
And then the AR thing. This is wicked.
That is so sick.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So like showcasing. That was launched with the iPhone 10 as
Yeah.
AR in iPhone or whatever. So clever. Do you notice that? There was like 3 of them, then 2, then 1. Watch. 3 of them, 2 of them, 1 of them.
Wow.
And I love like the build up, like and now showing off the watch that
Yeah.
like.
It's time.
Also, did I notice correctly? Did she have a ponytail all along? No, she had
No,
hair down.
Yeah. Now she's all like
Hair down.
they're
so
all
it's like
cleaned up. Yeah, for the interview or for the meeting. Yeah.
yeah. So she was doing makeup. This guy's wearing a suit because
Yeah.
he wasn't before. And she's like the typical like mean boss. And I love how they picked a woman with short hair because something about it just is more
that,
bossy
like, yeah.
than having like I don't know. And the little like the characters are so. I'm not even trying to be racist right now, but the fact that they use an assistant as a little Asian girl,
Yeah.
you know, like that's such a movie thing. Like it's just like so.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
But like that's crazy. Like the entire cast is so
Fitted.
well thought out.
Yeah.
Like all the characters and everything is like
Because like the,
so well done.
the
like
four
it
of
literally like that's why I said like I would. They literally sold me on these characters in under 3 minutes, and it's a commercial. And I was
Which is
like,
basically a
I'm
short
bought
movie.
into these
Yeah.
characters. Like, and you get just enough of everybody's backstory as well.
Yeah, true.
Like the person living at home with their grandmother, the other like the person at home with their kids. Like it's really cool that you're getting just enough to like buy in with each of the characters.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. It's you can see she's the leader, right? And then that's how they put these people too. She's the leader. And this is like her helper. Yeah. And she's kind of by herself, and this guy's just like follower of everything.
And like how bland the color palette is.
Yeah.
On the outside.
And I love the little squeak of the chair. Watch.
Oh, it's so well done.
And no reflections on the elevator.
Yeah.
Man, it's so well done. And these characters, they fit all four of them. They fit so well together. Because you got like the one that leads the team, right? The little helper that like will do anything, right? She's kind of doing her own thing, and then this guy's just a follower.
Like, she looks like she was like the designer, right?
This girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which also makes sense because she looks contemporary. She's ginger, which is rare. She has glasses and short hair.
And then the funky patterns too on their shirts, like the two that are like the creatives. It looks like.
Yeah, and the guy has a pizza box in here.
I like this side character too, Mike. And they're showing off the IMAX too, which is awesome.
That's a PC. It looks like. So it's probably. Oh, this guy even has a helmet. Like I didn't even notice that. Why? Like, and it's a random color splash. That's so cool.
Oh, I didn't even notice that even the tractor is blue.
What?
Or not the tractor, the forklift.
Oh, the forklift. I've never seen a blue forklift in my life, and the pallets are blue. Like what the? Whoa! Notice this.
That's insane.
Yellow beans, blue accents.
Yeah. The entire time. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
Blue beams, yellow accents.
What the hell?
Wow. How? Like how? They must be coloring this stuff in post.
Oh yeah, it's all in post.
No, but then if they change them from.
Oh yeah, you can.
Select and whatever.
Man, it's so good.
So good.
And the fact that they told this like cool story in 3 minutes whilst highlighting like so many different features.
And it's crazy, and it's crazy, and it's basically like a short movie in a commercial.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's so.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I don't want to go too high, but like to me, that was one of the most like ideal commercials in my head. Like where I say the same thing every time. I like it when it like tells a story without shoving the product in.
The product, it was just
and it
subtly
shares
in
the
there.
story and like just how easily it fits into their lives.
And the beautiful thing is that even though the product showed up multiple times throughout the video and multiple products, it didn't feel shoved in your throat.
No,
and like
exactly.
you wanted,
and
the fact that it was a story told, you wanted to keep watching the commercial.
Yeah, you're like invested in like, oh, are they going to get this done? Right?
Yeah. And like, what are the characters going to do? And like, the subtle hits and humor.
Yeah, I love it. I don't
Now,
know, like 9.
Like I saw 9. That's high. Like I would say 9 too.
Like I don't want to give it 10 this early.
But the thing is, like, I don't even know what I would add. That's the thing.
I don't know either.
What I would do to make it a 10.
Nothing.
So I feel like you just got to give it up and say it's a 10.
Yeah, but like there might be just like a better commercial. Also, it looked like it took place in New York, and I was just there. By the way.
by the way, you were in New York. If you haven't heard. Okay, so how can we apply this to make a commercial similar?
Storytelling.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Tell a story.
Like telling a story without.
Or try to sell products by telling a story.
Telling a story, yeah, and how it applies to the person's life in a way that isn't like, again, shoving the product down their throat. Like really just selling them on the idea.
Like very subtle.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Cool.
Also, like the attention to detail. That's insane. Like the color palettes are incredible.
And like the
that's
settings.
Something like, I mean, it's Apple, so they got like infinite
budgets. Sorry, how much is this going to cost? I don't care. Just put it down.
Yeah, just blank check.
Just write it in yourself.
Fill it out after. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. For me, I would say too, the attention to detail and telling a story instead of just being like, this is the product, this is why you should buy it. It's like showing a story to get people to relate to it. The beautiful thing though that the Apple has an advantage with or of, I guess, is that they have so much budget that they can make a commercial. Literally, their YouTube channel is full with commercials about individual mini features of each thing. They literally have 3 commercial series about the privacy on an iPhone.
Yeah.
They don't,
Well, like in
not
the
privacy
thing
on
too,
all the
the-
products, not privacy on
Yeah,
like
just the
whatever,
iPhone, yeah.
all the phones. Is literally privacy on iPhone. That's it.
And like the other thing that's cool with the freedom that they have to do creative stuff like this is the fact that they're already in a point in the marketplace. Like they don't need to make commercials that are about
Buy,
yeah,
or why
no,
you should buy.
It's just about touching base and reminding people that they do this stuff.
That
Because
they're the
already, like, everyone knows what Apple is, right? Like, you see the product and you're like, okay, I know what that is.
Yeah.
It's just about, like, the little reminders.
Like if I was a phone company, I wouldn't even try it. If I was an Apple, I'd be like, nah, I'll just just you guys can do your thing.
Like, and I thought that Samsung commercial was cool. So, like, the kids running around the neighborhood showing off the features. I thought that was
Yeah.
good. This took that, like, to
No,
a
that sounds like
completely
a commercial. Just
different...
literally looks like an amateur, like a village,
Yeah.
like a kids in a
Like,
village.
this is insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy, crazy.
love
I feel like they hired like a movie crew.
Oh my God,
Like
yeah.
these actors are probably like in shows, like
yeah.
TV shows, and they're like, we have a
It's
commercial.
it's
They're like,
directed by,
sorry,
like-
we usually work with bigger budgets. Sorry, what? We're Apple. let us write you a
Give
check.
us, yeah, a blank check.
And next thing you know, they're coming back. So any more commercials you guys are doing? We only use actors once
One
for our
time,
series,
sorry.
so enjoy what you got.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyways, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any suggestions about things we should talk about, review, or watch, please let us know via email at info@prolixmedia.ca or DM us on Instagram at prolixmedia. And also, obviously, don't forget to follow us while you're there. And the reason you want to follow us on Prolix Media is because we post on there quite often, including stories of things that we're doing every day. So this way you can stay in touch with us. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. As we said, we're on a mission to get to 10K subscribers. We really want to put valuable content out there and educate our audience and kind of share our fun and funny moments with you guys. So please do subscribe. Also, if you want to watch this video and want to find out more about Palette, the links are below in the description of wherever you're listening or watching this from. And that's about it. Until next time. Cheers.